Some of these questions which this man from uh, very remote island he asks us and he wants answers from us depending on our behavior is similar to the questions that are posed by the 14-year-olds who when they were ordained as sons as brides and bridegrooms of the Creator. So uh, I have put my knowledge to the use of how we are conducting our lives, whether we are doing it intelligently or not. So here goes. Some of the questions are: what is it that the Creator or nature has given you less of than me? Or has Creator given you more and less to me? What is the purpose of this life as a human being? Now, this question we would not have in our lives when we are in our 30s and 40s and making merry, having a lot of fun in life, having our families and all. But this question of what is the purpose of life gets in your way when you are in your 40s and 50s and you start taking account or making an analysis of what you have done and what you could have done. The next one is: what is it that you cannot acquire by your own efforts? What is the value of your life? Now, how to put this value down? Can it be put in terms of money, or so that money is tangible? But can it be how much happiness, how much fulfillment you have gotten in your life? What do people think about you? What have you done to other people? Have you lived your life to the best that you could have done? So these are questions which come in later lives, in 40s and 50s and 60s, and even after that, if people are healthy. The next one is: who is God and where is He? And what are His attributes? What is He? The next one is more complex. If He is there, why can you not see Him, or why can you not experience Him? So this is where we have closed the windows of our mind, as well as that one small voice inside has been not killed. That one small voice cannot be killed, but that one small voice is put in a very safe container that it cannot come out of the container. That is locked, and we, after having locked it, we have lost our key. The next one gets even more complex. Have you seen your Creator or the God, and have you talked to Him, or have you experienced Him? If not, then what do we pray for, and why do we pray if we have not seen Him or if we have not experienced Him? So this is a very, very valid question which everybody should answer. The next one goes even more complex. He said, does He, the Creator, talk to you, or does He communicate with you? So this is what I said about the one small voice. Does He give you any indication of His presence in your life, or gives you pointers or warnings as to how to conduct your life and handle different kind of events in your life? So this is where I said that we have locked that one small voice, and that small voice cannot come out. So I am answering some of these questions. I am giving you reactions. The next one says, do you pray? Do you have to pray? And do you have to pray for what is the need that you have to pray? And who do you pray to? To whom do you pray? What do you do when you pray? Do you have to go away from your home to pray? Is there any particular place that you have to go to pray? Or, as I always mention, that if there is a prayerful heart, we find a lot of poetry on that prayerful heart. If there is a prayerful heart, then the prayerful heart is always praying, and there need not be a particular time to pray, because it is praying all the time. The Creator is always in front of that heart, and the heart is alive and it is living. When further probed, he has further and complicated questions. Most people are confused with this kind of questioning because there is no straight answer which can be palatable, not only to his curiosity but even to our curiosity if we start discussing these topics. When he is confronted with the same question, his reply would be as under. I consider this life as a journey of a pilgrimage. At all points of my life, I am accountable to the one small voice within me which keeps an account of all that I think, act, and do. Every moment of my life is a pilgrimage, and hence I do not see the need to do anything in particular or special, or seek any blessings or favor from any unknown sources. I keep enjoying this journey. I keep on working on my shortcomings as and when I come across them. I keep on learning at all points of my life from everything that nature has provided. I am not complete as this journey keeps on continuing, and there is so much excitement and learning because of the varieties of experiences we keep on coming on regular basis. Nothing and no one can sway me away from my natural state, which is happiness. He does not take further questions and advises each one to explore and examine for himself or herself each aspect of his or her own life. He says that you are all learned and educated, and I am an uneducated man from a remote island. We are not civilized, you people are civilized. So you have more learning, you have people who are philosophers and people who are so good in all kind of religion. You have amassed a lot of wealth, and all that needs effort. So with a little bit of effort, all my questions can be answered by you in your own way. You get together and answer this question either jointly or sing alone in your home. You sit down and ponder over the issues that I have raised, and then you can come across your own answer. Unless the answer is coming from inside you, from inside of your heart, those answers are of no use to you because they will not last you through the rest of your life. Thank you. This concludes my two short talks of 10 minutes on the situation where we have such a lot of unanswered questions for ourselves, which we should keep on answering.